Well, you can't beat having a good cook-up. Now, tonight, I've got my daughter here, Tamara, who's going to cook us up a good feast. Now, it's something that she's pretty good at, is the old cooking side of things. And tonight, it's going to be brisket and what?
And gnocchi. So we're going to go over some of the ingredients of what we're going to use today. We have, first of all, we're going to fry off some veggies. So you can use any veggies you like. Today we're going to use some carrots, some onions and some celery, followed by some garlic, and I like smoked paprika. It really infuses the flavor, especially in the brisket that we're going to be cooking. And then we'll grab some fresh herbs out of the garden as well, so some bay leaves and some rosemary. We've got some beef stock. You can use veggie or chicken stock as well. A good old red. I like the pepper jack red in there because I drink it while I cook it, which is really nice. And then I like to use butter as well because it infuses the veggies with the flavor. Okie dokie, so I'm going to cut up my veggies first. So we're just going to dice these onions up, and we'll add these in with a bit of garlic as well. Fry them up. They're going to be beautiful. I like to do bigger chunks of my onions, so then they can be a lot easier to grab out, especially because a lot of people in our family don't like onions. Crazy. But I'm going to do big slices of the onion, and then I'm going to dice up the celery into small pieces as well as the carrots, so I can fry that off with some herbs and some liquid. So we've got the whole family coming tonight, so I'm going to use just over ½ kilo of carrots, a half bunch of celery, and 2 onions tonight going in there as well. So Dad just pointed out that I'm using one of my camping knives. So typically in the kitchen we're not going to use a knife like this. Look, I was brought up to camp pretty simplistically, especially with Dad, and having these is my go-to because I can have them in the console of the car. They're handy for if you need to cut a zip tie, but also they fit in my pocket. So if I need to cut anything else up while I'm near the fire, I've got this. So it's nice and simple. They're always nice and sharp. We keep them sharp, and we can use them for cutting meat, filleting fish, cutting veggies, and all the bits and pieces. So when we're out in the bush or we're camping and we've got fresh veggies, I don't like to waste anything, and I'd encourage you to use it as well. But I'm just going to chop these up. They're going to add a bit of flavour into the feed as well, and there'll be a nice little garnish in there. So yeah, use your celery leaves as well. All right, so we've got a nice piece of beef brisket here. I've got just over 1.5 kilos to feed everyone. I'm going to slice this up because we are going to sear it, and it's going to take a good few hours in the camp oven. So we'll get that seared off, and then we've got plenty for everyone. It's just going to pull apart at the end of it. So typically if I had a little bit more daylight or I didn't need it in a shorter period of time, I would just be putting this in whole, and I wouldn't worry about searing it either because I've got flavors in there. I want it to slow cook. But with a brisket, it's a pull apart anyway, so it'll just be nice and quick for feeding the fam. Holes into the brisket here, so the flavour will be sucked on up into it, and I'll pop some herbs in there as well. Okie dokie. So I'm just going to pop some butter in the pan. We're going to fry this off. Won't take much. We've just preheated this pan. So I am using the Hillbilly cookware. Absolutely love this. Compact, fits in a bag, goes in the drawers in the car, and it's just so good. Hey, like the quality is amazing. I actually went down, I flew down to a show to see Dad, and I ended up flying home with a heap of this guy's gear, which was pretty cool. I love the egglets as well. He's got these really great little egglets, similar to this without the handles. They've got their own little bag, and the eggs just slide straight out of them, and they cook perfectly, so you should definitely check that out. It's like we've placed these rocks here intentionally because this holds the boards really well. This holds the pot even better, and then your utensils or your bum goes there while you're cooking. Camp oven on, preheating, and we're gonna fry off the veggies, and then after that we're gonna pop it all in there with all the stock, bit of wine, and then we're just gonna let it sit for a couple of hours. I'm just gonna remove my brisket here, gonna pop that to the side, and I'm going to simmer all of my flavors all together now in this pan. Oh, we don't want to lose that. So I'm just going to simmer it in here. There's a bit of flavor already in there from obviously frying off the brisket, and that's going to start the base of this gnocchi stew. Got some pepper going in, so a bit of garlic in there as well. Again, you'll do it to taste, and then we'll give it a bit of a mix. All right, creating a bit of a paste. If you're curious as to why I haven't put the pot directly onto the coals right now. It's because when the meat goes in the base, it will burn. And because we're using a brisket, which is a pull apart, we don't want to burn the meat. We want it to be nice and tender. So we're just going to let it actually boil up in the pot and simmer away. So if you don't have all of the gear, because perhaps you've got a small four-wheel drive, or you're just going away for the weekend, that's okay as well. So what you want to do is you want to get your fire going, use some sticks to create your coals. Then you can shovel that away to the side and you can actually let it cool just enough to pop your pot or your camp oven or your fry pan up on top of that. If you're doing a camp oven cook up, you can then put the coals on top of the lid. In this case, we just want this to simmer away nicely. We don't actually need the heat up on top of the lid once we put it on there. Just going to pop that meat in there. You can hear it sizzling. Going to infuse that meat really beautifully, and I'll add some more flavouring in on top. And Dad's been ever so kind to duck down into the veggie garden and, well, the herb garden, and grab some rosemary and some bay leaves, so that's going to infuse it quite nicely. Just going to shift this off the direct fire now, and I'm going to move my brisket over into my veg. So I'm going to pop a bit of stock in here just to soak up that sauce. And then we're going to use half a litre, or approximately half a litre, into the camp oven with a dash of red wine. Have a drink while it cooks, let it simmer away, then we'll keep checking it. Okay, now I've got some red Shiraz here. You can use whatever you like. It always tastes nice. About half a bottle will go into here to infuse it, and make sure you save some for yourself. Pop my bay leaves, my rosemary in, and I'll give it a stir. Now I'll close her up and we'll let her simmer. Okay, we've had this on the boil for quite some time now, so the family's here. Oh, look at that. They're ready for dinner. We've put the gnocchi in, and it's looking like it is ready. Let me just have a little stir here. We're just going to dish everybody's meals up now. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as we are all enjoying the food. The beautiful pulled brisket and gnocchi, the families are loving it.